We've come to Texas to get our first drive in the all-new Lexus Texas SUV, so yeehaw! Sorry, what's that? It's the Lexus TX. The TX doesn't stand for Texas. Well, what are we doing in Texas? I had a whole Western bit planned. Okay, so while the Lexus TX isn't actually called the Lexus Texas, it's definitely a Lone Star State-sized SUV, the biggest three-row crossover the brand has ever made. And it is made in the USA in Indiana alongside the Toyota Grand Highlander SUV, with which it shares a platform. Of course, this gets plenty of Lexus updates besides its own styling. It's got a more rigid chassis, an upgraded suspension, lots of sound deadening material, and a very luxed up interior. It's going to be available with 3 different powertrains. The TX 350 comes with a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine rated at 275 horsepower with either front or rear wheel drive. There's also the TX 500H, which uses a hybridized version of that 4-cylinder and puts out 366 horsepower. But at the top of the lineup is this 550H Plus, which is a plug-in hybrid that has a V6 and electric motor with a combined 404 horsepower. And it still gets 29 miles per gallon and will go 33 miles in all electric mode. But the really big news about this is just how big it is. It has 7 or 6 passenger seating and a third row that's big enough for tall adults. I didn't even bother doing my 6'1" scooch test where I see if I can fit behind myself in the driver's seat in the second row, because the third row has more than enough room, and it even has reclining seats. It also has USB ports and cup holders, which brings us to the Caffeina cup and bottle holder count, brought to you by Caffeina caffeinated water, available in several luxurious flavors. So there are plenty of cup holders in this vehicle, which are a little unusual because they are square. The ones here in the back don't actually do that well with a skinny round bottle like a Caffeina, and neither do the ones in the center console, which can also be removed. And it's the same story up front. Along with that, there are bottle slots in the doors. I'm gonna go ahead and count this as a bottle slot too. So that's 11 beverage holders. Enough for a Texas-sized thirst. Caffeina! Buy it on Amazon using the link in the description below. Pricing for the TX ranges from $55,000 for a front-wheel drive 350 to about 73 grand for a top-of-the-line 500H, while the 550H Plus price hasn't been released yet. The 350 gets 23 miles per gallon combined, the 500 27 miles per gallon combined, but besides the fuel economy and power, they all have a very different feel on the road. You can definitely tell the difference between the front-wheel drive models and the all-wheel drive models, and the level of refinement goes up as you go up through the trims. None of them feel short on power, but the hybrids definitely have a bigger kick, although all 3 can tow up to 5,000 pounds. The biggest difference comes on the 550H Plus, which blends the electric motors with the V6 to provide a really smooth power delivery, whether you're in hybrid or all-electric mode. And all-electric mode doesn't even give you all the power, but there's still plenty, as long as you're not in too much of a rush. It's also available with a variety of electronic driver aids, including lane centering adaptive cruise control and a proactive driving assist that'll actually intervene if it thinks you're driving too fast on a particularly curvy or dangerous road or there's cars in front of you. You can also get it with a 360-degree camera system that can see underneath the vehicle, virtually. They all have exceptionally small turning circles, which make them great for maneuvering in parking lots and around town. And the 500H comes with computer-controlled adaptive shock absorbers and rear-wheel steering that makes those circles even smaller. And look, while I know the official name of this is the Lexus TX, if you don't think people are going to be calling this the Lexus Texas, then you don't know cottonwood from a cottontail. I don't know, that sounds like something they'd say around here. I probably just shouldn't do the Western thing.